Okay, we haven't even started the video yet, and here we come across a problem. It's been a while since we've recorded a dedicated video instead of stream. All excited to show you a ship I've been anticipating, and we're clicking, and we're clicking, and we're clicking. Hey, there we go. So, top tip for 3.17.1 when claiming a ship. Spam your mouse finger until you get repetitive strain injury. Hello everyone, my name is Brewcrick, and you can of course call me Brew. And welcome back to another camera, behave yourself. Welcome back to another episode of Star Citizen. It's been a little while, it's been a hot minute. I hope you're doing okay. Today we are looking at the ship that every other single person in the verse, in the YouTubes is looking at. Yes, it's the ship behind me, not that other ship, which is a Valkyrie behind my shoulder, because we've got some company here at the Shubin mining facility on Daymar. No, we're looking at the Scorpius today. No, today we are looking at the the Scorpius from RSI. And you know what? It's not that overpowered. And because of that reason, I actually like it a lot. Let's get into the deep dive of the Scorpius. X-Wing, may the Force verse be with you. Let's do it! So here she is, the Scorpius by RSI. And like all our videos, we're going to go through the good, the bad, the ugly, and all the detail. We're just going to take a quick little walk around of our ship. Hopefully not get absolutely blapped by that fellow member of the verse trying to put a rover into, into their... hey, I should not laugh. I'm terrible at driving a rover. I smash into every object known to space man and above. But look at the Scorpius. Isn't she a beaut just off to our right here? Absolutely beautiful. In its own way. It kind of looks like, we'll see that when we get in with the wings collapsed, like folded in. The name escapes me. The little ship. The little starter ship. The Aurora. Which I have referred to as the door wedge in the past. But the Scorpius, I am digging it. And maybe it's just because it's the new flavor of the month. And I've been hyped up waiting for it for so long. I don't know. But I do like the look of the ship. I prefer it, of course, when it's in the attack position. Because of one of my favorite franchises, of course, and all the nostalgia that brings. But even when it's landed on the ground here, it does strike a pose. And it's not massively big. I don't feel like it is anyway. I don't feel like it's difficult to land or to put into position or land on pads or land beside bunkers if you're doing bunker missions. And we're going to talk about that because it does have storage. It does have gun racks. It does have a seat for another person that you can actually do something with. And we're going to compare it to some ships in this sort of class, in this size 2 shield, mini multi-crew heavy fighter, as CIG describe it as, class, and see what you might want to go for. Now, the ship itself isn't in-game purchasable just yet. In fact, as of recording Saturday the 21st of May, you can't even fly one unless you have backed its concept, or unless you are a subscriber. And that's how I got my hands on this. I've never subscribed before, but I thought, you know what, it's 20 bucks. I'll throw it in because I wasn't too sure if I wanted to buy this ship. And we talk about buying ships. You don't need to buy any ships with real money if you don't want to. Absolutely not. If you do, fair play. That is your decision. But I was always saying I might just add this as a backer. I might buy this ship with real world bucks. Of course, if you wait 6 to 10 months, you're going to be able to grind out the AUEC cash in-game and buy it in-game. That's been proved with things like the Redeemer and the 400i now being purchasable. But I needed to decide to myself, you know, I was hearing mixed reviews of this ship, like convergence issues, and they were going to mess about with the maneuverability. Then they said they weren't, and all this sorts of stuff that was going on while the ship was in PTU, the testing servers before coming into live like it is now. So I thought, well, 20 bucks, I can try it out for a month. And I've tried it out for a couple of days. Not even that, because the servers are having issues at the minute. And I think I'm going to pick it up. I am enjoying it. But I'm not enjoying it because it is super OP. Like when I first got my Ion and then scrapped it when it was nerfed. Because the Ion was OP. You know, I think they took too much of a nerf stick to it. But the Ion was very much OP when it first came out, wrecking things. This, I don't think, wrecks things. I mean, when it's fully crewed, it is a force to be reckoned with, yes. But, as many of you probably are who are watching my videos, you might be a solo pilot like me. And it's a solo ship. It's okay. It's comfortable. I'm going to tell you a lovely story about bounty hunting in the state of 317.1. I do want to do a dedicated video on it, but seeing as it's my first video back in a while, I'll give you a wee anecdote. And if you're watching this video, this is not like other videos on the internet. This is a place where we sit back, relax, grab a beverage, lean back in your chair, and listen to me rant about pixelated spaceships for a good 45 minutes or so. There will be timestamps to different sections, but that's kind of my deal. If you prefer a 3 to 5 minute video, you're not going to see it here, but please feel free to skip and bounce about the timestamps to get the information you need. Oh, it is a bit gorgeous. What we're going to do is, it's a new feature. We're going to bring in our camera ship and take a closer look at the Scorpius from the air. Though we will need to do another walk around in space once we unfurl those lovely wings. So I'll go get my camera ship and we'll do just that. Alright everyone, just because this is a new feature, I'm just going to introduce it for you. This is our new camera ship. Now I will be doing, there's some bloke going over to my Scorpius. I hope we don't get hijacked. I will be doing a video on the 85X. It is an awesome little ship. It was so much fun in 3.16 when distortion guns still were a thing. Now you can still use them, but I think it takes a lot more effort to shut ships down. But this is our little camera ship. It's great. It's the 85X, and we can summon it on planets at stations like this, and it means I can fly around the ship we're reviewing and give you another perspective. Hello, my friend. How you doing? Come and say hello. /wave. Oh, okay. Hang on. I will salute you. Emotes. Wave. Where's wave? I don't want to burp at the guy. Wave. Salute. There we go. Salute. Okay, saluted at the ship, but I think he gets it. So what we're going to do is we're going to get it to our ship here, and we'll use it as a camera ship. I just thought I'd introduce that. It's a bit of a new feature I'm adding to the deep dive reviews. If you're new, you'll have known about the walkabout that we do and the random meandering. But now we're going to have a little bit of a view of the ship from the air. So, see you in a minute. Okay, so the camera is literally on the nose of our little 85X here. I can just take you on a little tour of where we are. We're at Shubin mining facility. And if I just slow the ship down a bit so we get some more smoother angles. Thank you for having me, Shubin mining facility. You can see our little friends here in the Drake Cutlass steel, maybe black. Not too sure. Ursa rover, the Valkyrie, but then the ship that we're interested in today is, of course, our ship in question. So, let's just have a quick look at it from the air. Now, we could have gone into a different camera, which we'll still do, I'm sure, but I just wanted to give you sort of a unique angle of the ship. And this is it here from the air. And it is gorgeous. Very different. Haven't really seen much like this before. I'm liking the lines. One of the brew crew was telling me it's much like a Scorpion. And the turret is like the stinger that you can deploy to the back, which I think is very cool. If we get up nice and close, we can see a bit more of that. Uh-oh. camera ship does not want to get much closer. We'll not try that then. Or we might bonk into it. This is the first time I'm using the idea of the camera ship, by the way, so bear with me on it. I thought I'd just give you guys a different angle, so you can really see this thing before even considering putting real money towards it, which is what you'll have to do if you want to get this anytime soon. So it's a big commitment. Or possibly refunding a ship that you don't fly as much and putting it towards this ship. So yes, big commitment. Absolutely big commitment. While we're floating around the ship, let's talk a little bit about its vital statistics. Classified as a heavy fighter, it has it comes with 4 gimbaled size 2 laser repeaters on the wings. And this is where I break away from our usual format a little bit. I have upgraded these weapons. So the review today will not be stock. I've actually upgraded the ship. So I'll go through all the stock so you're aware. But I have upgraded the bits and pieces. That's so cool. There's that cutlass flying off. Oh, I just love this game, man. Bloody hell, this game is beautiful. So yes, it comes with 4 gimbaled repeaters. I'm going to land this little camera ship here. The turret comes with turreted size 3 repeaters. Don't know what's going on with my little ship. It comes with 1 size 2 shield. Okay, a full stop shield. Oh, we don't get run over. I hear the Ursa running about. Let's continue doing a detailed tour in a minute. So yes, Ursa. Calm your bap. Oh, it comes with... It's been a while since I've recorded a video, and I'm just loving... I'm loving how alive the verse is at the minute. Do you see the Drake Cutlass in the distance, in the horizon? Look at it coming over for a flyby. As I say, this is a very different type of video you get. Oh, okay, so they're going to put the Ursa on the Drake Cutlass, are they? You would think this is actually a recorded professional video, but no, it's just as chaotic as my live streams. Hey guys. Anyway, as I was saying, heavy fighter, size 2 shield, one of them, the full stop, comes with 4 gimbaled in total, 1 on each of the wings that extend out. Size 2 laser repeaters, the Badgers. It has 16... Let me be sure of that. Yep. 16 size 2 missiles as stock, which is really, really good. It has a quantum drive, the EOS, Civilian Grade C, that will get you from Crusader to Hurston in 5 minutes, 29 seconds. And from what I can see here in terms of the tank, QT capacity is 583. And the QT fuel required is... Yes, you could maybe do it there and back again on the stock. So for a heavy fighter, a good sort of QT stock. It's got no beds of any kind. No interior capacity, but I'm going to show you something fun in just a second. And it does have a second seat. And the second seat is for the gunner, who gets to use those nice big guns at the top. In terms of interior, there's a lot of stuff to click on this ship. So we can click here, and that's going to open up the radar, and you can see that over here, so we can access all the components. So that's the radar button. Alright, you can see another button over here. This is for avionics. It's going to open up that hatch. So again, more components. When components get physicalized, we have to swap them out. Another button over here, which is for... I don't know what this button's for. Ah, this is the gun racks. Okay. Which is so bloody cool. So a big gun can go in here. And a big gun can go in here. And I think these are for pistols. which I actually happen to have one on me, but I don't think it'll take me out. Or let me take it out, excuse me. No. Yeah, I do have a pistol, but I can't unsheath it because we're in an armistice zone. But that's where your pistols go, your guns. So there's gun racks. So pistol and a heavy gun for you and your co-pilot. Now, when looking at the landing gear, you can look to the left. Alright. And there's a storage compartment. That can be a little bit temperamental at the minute, but that seemed to work okay. And you can put stuff in it. Alright. But, let's look at the landing gear again. And then look to the right. There is another button. And another storage compartment. 01. And it is a separate inventory. And there you go. Now it's doing a little bit of the jankiness I was talking about. So you sort of just have to try it. Let it do its thing and then try and go back in again. The game is not behaving well this weekend as I'm recording. There we go. But I'll never cut this stuff out because I want you to see the truth of it. So you see our 6 med pens aren't there. So we can put that one over there. And if we go back to the other storage, you'll see that they're separate inventories, which is pretty cool. If it'll behave. No, of course not. Come on. Behave. Behave. There we go. So there's 6 in the left, 1 med pen in the right. So that's what I thought was pretty cool. If we then go on the starboard side of the ship, just more detailing. There's the missiles, which is really cool. People are putting cluster missiles and things. There's a power plant, which we can, of course, open up. Loving this component access. And then we just have, at the back, life support, jump drive. They all have their own buttons. And the battery, which is for the laser capacitors, I believe. And then the shield generator, which is the size 2. You can open all that up and have a look. That little bit is for when the turret is deployed to the rear. When I say the rear, people are saying, oh, you can deploy the turret so you can shoot behind you. You don't need to deploy the turret so you can shoot behind you. I'll show you that in just a second. I believe it is very much for shooting on your belly. Like shooting at the ground. And this is quite interesting. These are where the coolers go. So there's like room for everything. You can access every single component. It's very, very cool. Speaking of, if you want to know more about the vital statistics, we talked about the shield, the weapons on the wings, the turrets, the quantum size 1, 2 size 1 coolers. Yeah, so that's the stock. What I've done with this is and 2 power plants as well. Yeah, 2 power plants, 2 coolers. I've changed the shield up to the rampart because I just couldn't be bothered flying out to get the FR, whatever it's called. Where are we? FR76. So the rampart was just as close, got the same HP. So that upgrade will move you from the stock full stop shield of 9,000 HP up to 10,375. So you're getting another 1,000 or so health, shield health. So something to consider. You can notice on the wings, those are definitely not size 2 gimbals. I've removed the gimbals and put on 4 fixed size 3 Panther laser repeaters. And I've done that because gimbals are misbehaving for me personally. And gimbals versus fixed, lead versus lag is a very contentious topic. And I like both. Let me just state that. I like gimbals. I like fixed. But 317.1, and we're going to talk about it when I do the state of 317.1 video of bounty hunting in 317.1. We're going to talk about this. But I need fixed weapons because gimbals aren't hitting where I want them to go, in that they try and aim for the center of the ship. I need to be able to shoot at the rear of the ship because NPC ships with size 2 shields are a little intermittently bugged. We'll probably see that when we do a mission. So I've also upgraded the power plants. I don't think I've upgraded the coolers. That's about it. So that's the differences I've made. How do you get into the ship? It's actually on the right side, I believe. Don't think there's anything. So you're looking for this little groove, but on the starboard port side of the ship, excuse me, the left side of the ship. Now, you can get into, if you go back a little bit more, you can get into a couple of things here. So you just open the ladder, open the canopy, but we're looking for the bottom two. Now, for the rule of cool, you might want to go into the gunner seat first and deploy the gunner seat to the rear, but we're not going to do that. I'm just going to show the ship as if you just got into it for the first time. So let's enter the pilot seat. Now, there's only one ladder, so if you're in with a friend, you'll have to take turns using the ladder, one after another. Which, you know, so this isn't a ship you're meant to get into overly quickly, I don't think. You're meant to get in nice and snug and go out fighting. So that's the vital statistics. That's a little bit of a look around. Let's, before we talk about the cockpit, just do another little look out here with our camera. Our friends have gone for the day. Just take a quick close look there at the top for you. Or a closer look. It's a lovely ship. It's a lovely ship. And I hope by the end of this video, I'm going to be able to apply a little gift that a very generous member of the Brew Crew, one of you, Choo Choo or Bruce, as you may have heard of them on the streams, has gifted me a skin for this ship. I'm so excited. Thank you so much, Choo Choo. Oh, well excited. But we'll put that on at the end of the video. Okay, cockpit then. Let me sit up in my seat so we can talk about this cockpit because it's very interesting. Okay, then here we go. Let's talk about the cockpit, everybody. So the cockpit's with, or without, I suppose, struts really make an impact. Oh, look at this bloody thing. My hand's in a very precarious position, but I know it's just holding the flight stick. These cockpits with zero struts in the way, they just feel great. I feel connected to the space around me. There's no barriers or obstructions. And it's wonderful. If we have a look in here, we can go all the way up. Nothing in the way. All the way down. All the way around. Such a cockpit for a head tracker. And for me, quite importantly so, when we talk about the MFDs, a head tracker, I think, will be important with a ship like this. If we peek down, 2 MFDs. I kind of like the simplicity. I don't want to judge this ship because technically 2 MFDs is not good at the minute because of a bug. And the bug is that on this right MFD where we've got our target status, your ship decides to try and call the enemy every 2 seconds. And this MFD will change to a calling, or whatever it is. We'll probably see it when we get into a fight. And you lose all track of where your enemy's at. You know, if their shields are down, what shield is down, do you push the attack, do you bank out? You know, I personally need those sorts of things. But when they fix that nonsense, because it is, why do I want to call an enemy when I'm fighting them? They're trying to kill me. The 2 MFD is lovely. And also, you'll notice that the default MFDs are quite nice. Target status on the right, self status on the left. I use shield, but some people like the self status. And the MFDs themselves are these transparent glass looking things, slates, I don't know, panes that you get on similar to the Connie. Though I'm loving the design around them is a lot cleaner. Really, really nice. And these little buttons are lovely. Again, CIG with their hot spotting, need to work on that a little bit. But, I mean, I think that's something we're not going to see fixed for a while. And then over on the left, we've got more buttons. Now, could these have been a little mini MFD over here? I don't see why not. We've seen it on ships like another mini MFD maybe over here and just shift those buttons over a bit. I don't see the harm in that. I know we have to sort of step over this area to get out of the ship, but I wouldn't have seen any harm with having some more MFDs. More MFDs, I can, especially with a tracker, I can glance over, very quickly. So little bit of feedback. That's perhaps what I would have liked to see. But these MFDs, they work quite well. Other than that, the cockpit, as I say, it connects you with your environment. There's not a lot else to look at. We do have an ejector. That's, you know, it's all very straightforward. Now, that's the cockpit. Overall, some more MFDs. Other than that, I love it. I actually think it's really cool. Now, the moment we've all been waiting for, takeoff. So we'll be taking off. We'll be doing some atmospheric checks and things on it. Again, this is a deep dive video. We're going to take it through its paces as much as possible. So I'm just going to see if it's going to let me... oh, I need to turn the engines on. That would help. There we go. I was trying to adjust the speed limiter. All right, let's take this bad boy off. Now, when it's in landing mode, which is what we're in here, I've noticed it's super... So, caveat again, if you don't know sort of my setup. Keyboard mouse. I'm a keyboard mouse user. I'm no big expert, but my profession is bounty hunting NPCs. So, take that in mind when I'm going through all this with you. And when you see the sorts of things I'll be doing with a ship. So, one of the things I don't know, and maybe this is something you can control. As I say, I'm by no means an expert. Is that when it's in the landing mode, when I'm going to go like land at a pad, its roll is very sensitive, very shaky. So when I'm trying to adjust a little bit onto a pad, its roll is not. That's nice in a fight. Very nice. But landing at a pad, I've just noticed it's a little bit too jerky. But that's just me. Maybe that's something that can be adjusted in settings. I don't know. But just an immediate observation. Taking off, as you saw, was very, very smooth. Its landing struts, I mean, I don't not like them. I'm not fussed on the struts. You know, sometimes you see struts, again, if you're seeing me for the first time, I like every minutiae of detail about spaceships. I like to look at all the little wells and panels and bolts and everything. Everything about spaceships I try and have a look at. So I make no apologies for that. That's what you get when you're watching one of my videos. But the struts, I don't know. They're alright, but they're landing struts. You know, there are some struts where I'm like, damn, those struts look cool. They're nice and detailed, yes, but I don't know. For some reason, they don't do it for me. They're functional. They're functional. So, I'm delaying it. I'm delaying the most exciting part about this ship. But when you're taking off, make sure you raise or increase your altitude from the pad or the ground a little bit, because when we hit the N key, which deploys or retracts your landing gear, well, here we go. Let's have a look at it together. 3, 2, 1. That's the money shot. Good night, everybody. Thank you for watching this. Do I need to say anything else? Ah, I'm reverting back to my childhood, and you know, like they say, when you're older, you do puzzles and jigsaws. I'm friggin' getting back into Lego. I'm loving myself a little bit of Lego, and I picked up a X-wing today, and man, oh, the ship just screams it. It just screams it. It also screams the ship from the Babylon 5 series, the Fury or whatever it's called. I never really watched much of that series, but it is also and the Sandstorm is doing some weird things. Oh. Let's look at that transformation from the rear. So, N to bring it in. That's your landing gear. It's just the movement, and I'm surprised by the speed of it. I thought it was going to be really slow. For me, it's the Goldilocks speed. They've got that animation speed lovely. It's not too fast, it's not too slow. I like that. I like that a lot. And you see, just seeing a couple of these flying together, we had it on Discord the other night. This brings back them feels. Proper fighter squadron feels. So cool. So that's that's it being deployed. Immediately, what I want to tell you about is that, which many may not know, is that you can hit Alt K, so left Alt on your keyboard, and hold that in and hit K, and you can collapse the wings without the landing gear coming down. So that's very cool. So if you want to approach somewhere unspoiled or spool or whatever term you want to use for deploying your wings undeployed, you can Alt K and that gear doesn't come down, which is a lovely feature because we see things like, is it the arrow? I haven't tested the Alt K theory. I don't know if it works on the arrow, but you know, when you're folding the wings and stuff, the gear has to come down. It's not separate of each other. However, if you are deploying your landing gear, the wings do have to contract in. Period. You don't have a choice about that. In terms of maneuvering and stuff in that mode, we're just going to have a look at that in just a second. But if I show you where those thrusters are at, you'll see them flash on as I increase my altitude. There's 4 of them on the top. Do you see them firing off there? We're going to talk a little bit about tactics and stuff, but using the ship's vertical boost, I hear another ship flying about us, is very powerful for maneuvering. Another OG Brew Crew member, Willie DePoo, you'll have seen them on streams, gave me that advice about using that vertical boost when, I'm just conscious so I don't want to smack into anybody, when fighting, when maneuvering, and it can really help. So space bar up, do you see them firing? We've got 4 on the bottom as well. Our strafing ability, we've got 2 either side, so not that many. You see them firing off there, sorry, on the side of the ship. That's such a cool shot right there. So let me strafe again. There you go. So they're actually using the, they're not dedicated left and right strafing thrusters. They're just the top and bottom ones articulating to move. Okay, do you see? So when I go up on the counter, see that back one on the right? But when I strafe to the right, that back one doesn't fire off. So just if you're curious, I'm always curious about maneuvering thrusters and things. Ah, damn, look at this. Once we've got out of that storm cloud, it looks beautiful. Alright, so that's our maneuvering and things. So strafing, we're probably not going to be a very powerful strafer. But we are quite nice in a straight line. So no boost. Let's go up to max speed in Atmo, just so you can see what we're getting at. We're on Daymar, so it's not a heavy atmosphere like Hurston or anything like that, but it's not too bad. Without any boost, it's climbing quite nice for us. Let's see how we are when we get down to the deck. Now, it's not going to be any Banu, that's for sure. I'm using a bit of vertical strafe to just keep us off the deck. So, yeah, we're not doing too bad there at 760. And there we are flying, just so you can see. Adjust the camera. And this just alone looks absolutely ridiculous. Let's let go and see how quickly we stop on our own reverse boost. Not too bad for what it is, a heavy fighter. Again, we're using no boost. The SCM is quite nice. And then we get down like that. So it's not stopping on its own. But very few ships stop on their own without any boost when they're going full speed on Atmo in a single direction. This ship, you'll find, will blow past atmospheric bounties if you're coming in full speed. But it's got a healthy dose of boost to crack that. We're going to see that when we take this out for a fight at the end of the deep dive. Again, this is, by no apologies, quite a long video. Roll. Now, this is with the wings deployed. Little bit of overroll in Atmo. So if we roll right, I'm holding down roll and I'm letting go now. So, second or two. If we are yawing, yawing's actually quite good. And then yawing, but of course we get it's fighting itself there in the yaw, so it is. fighting itself there. But that's because we're going at the speed that we're going at. But yaw feels nice. You know, for an atmospheric, you know, quite a nice yaw. Pitch for a heavy fighter feels nice. All with no boost. Of course, when we start adding boost to things, there isn't for me an atmospheric dramatic increase, but our pitch becomes good. Look at that, right 180. The correction is okay, again, for a ship its size, but we have a lot of boost. And that vertical thrust gets us right off the deck. You see the direction of travel indicator? Just it moves. I'll show it again, so hang on. Let me just get a bit of boost back. Power back to boost. Recharge is okay on the boost. It's not super fast. It's not super slow. But if you're using a lot of boost, just be very careful managing that resource with your power triangle. Okay, so I'm going to roll, pitch, use boost to get into the turn. And then I'm going to use vertical thrust. Now watch how quickly vertical thrust comes up. Look at that vertical thrust. Look at that. That's all spacebar. That spacebar, and of course with the boost. That boost was running that whole maneuver. So the vertical thrust on this thing is really good. Really good for what it is. So in atmosphere, I like it. It's a lot of fun. And then we can probably turn on our cool little camera that I just discovered was a thing the other day. Spring camera movement. And there isn't really many canyons and stuff for us to fly in, but we get this sort of more cool effect where the camera sort of delay follows with us. If you see me. Oh! This is such a cool ship to fly. There's our laser repeaters. If you want a more thematic X-Wing experience, Scorp X experience, great advice again from Willie of the Brew Crew is to put Quarrel guns on the wings, their cannons, and stagger them. You can hotkey that in your settings. And it's very like a just like a proper Star Wars experience. But in terms of fighting and FPS, there's an FPS drop, and I just prefer laser repeaters on a ship like this. And again, heads up, if you keep the stock size 2s on this, you can use gimbals. I'm on fixed 3s, so I'll be using fixed targeting, and I'll be using a lag pip, so I can put my shots where I want them on the enemy vessels. Alright, let's get into space. And I will show you a bit of the maneuvering in space. Here she is now. Oh, gorgeous. I don't think it's a Marmite ship. You know, some ships you just... I don't... You know, I think this aesthetically is quite pleasing and quite different from anything we've really seen. I said I would talk about some of its competitors, so, you know, we're talking about things like the Hurricane. Possibly some people are putting it in the same guise as the Banu, because it also, you know, in terms of weapons, it has one size 2 shield. It can have 2 people, but it has beds. The Vanguard series, I think, outclass a ship like this just because of their turret and the size 5 weapon, and they've got beds. You know, so I don't know if the Vanguards really come into par with this. The Hurricane is the obvious comparison, and I still need to do a review in the Hurricane, but its turret's got 4 size 3 fixed laser repeaters. It's got access to 2 size 3 gimbals, I believe, which you can upgrade to 2 size 4 fix. I think the Hurricane isn't as big as this ship. I don't think it's as wide. I don't think the Hurricane can get to the same top speed, which leads me on to the segue of the space review of this ship's maneuverability and how it handles. So you can see there on the left, we're getting a very healthy top speed. But let's just slow it down to a stop so we can show you that. Now, stopping in space with no boost is slow. If we do a 180 pitch, you get the engines firing up more aggressively. It's noticeably better. Noticeably better. So if you're careening towards a planet or a space station, 180 flip, you're going to get those stronger engines in the back, which are those little thin ones firing off there. You can see they're going to help you stop your momentum. The reverse thrusters are, there we go, are in the nose, which I've just noticed. I haven't seen that before. That's bloody cool. So let's go full speed. Just gonna zip us around here a little bit. Oh, that's so cool. Beep, 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 beep. Sorry. As I said, I'm regressing to my inner child. But if we then brake, there you go. There's those reverse thrusters. That's cool. Let's just make sure we're not smacking into any planets. All right, let's stop the ship. I'll just show you. I'm using boost just to stop. It's a bit quicker. Excuse me. Top speed is going to be faster than a Gladius, which is something I tend to benchmark for speed, because fighters coming in to harass you, harangue you, So this Gladius's last I checked was 1, 2, 3. So 1,230 to 1,235 meters per second. The Scorp is coming in just under 1,250. 1,249. So I think it'll outpace a Gladius. Things like, of course, the Carto, all the stuff, they can get up to 1,300. That's a different story, or thereabouts. There you go. So it's a really healthy top speed for a heavy fighter. I like that. I like that a lot. And it got up to it pretty quickly for us when we're using boost and things. If we flip 180 and then use our boost while we're flipping and then to brake, this is the thing I noticed. So we were doing fights against hammerheads, and I was zipping away super quick out of that fight to recharge the shield, but then slowing down and turning and getting back into it feels like it probably should for a heavy fighter. It was slower than other ships. So slowing this thing down is slow. And we talked about it in the Brew Crew in Discord, and we feel like this is very much a dogfighter / strike fighter. You go in, you hit it hard, your turret gunner, as you're blasting out, deploys to the rear. Look at this shot, this is just amazing. Deploys to the rear, and, harasses any ships pursuing you. You do a slow bank turn, come back into the fight again. That's kind of what we're thinking is its purpose or a tactic you could use with it. Sorry, I'm just just looks so cool. Anyway, rolling in space, I'm holding down the roll and letting go. Slide over roll. Let's go back into SCM and try that roll again. See what I mean about the slowing? So I'm not even doing the 180 flip. I'm using boost to slow. It is slowing down. So be mindful of that. Stick in SCM and then roll. And let go of the roll now. It doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel sluggish in those rolls because, you encounter it quite nicely. You're going to enjoy throwing this thing around a bit, but just be careful in asteroid belts and things because that forward momentum, it's slow to slow down. Okay, so that's its performance in space. We've had a good look around. The last thing I want to do is a little bit of a spacewalk because we're going to get into the cockpit. So let's do that. And then we're going to take it for a fight and finish up this deep review of the Scorpius. So far, is it a good ship to fly? Yes. Is it OP? I don't think so. Should you spend real-world money on it? Well, it is always important to know it's your space bucks. It's your space cash. That's really, really important. And oh, by the way, look at how look at how we look now when we're EVAing. We look absolutely stupid. Hang on. Hello, everybody. Oh, I don't know why that's the thing that's happening, but it is. So, I kind of want this to be the thumbnail. Maybe, I don't know. If maybe we'll use this as the thumbnail. Who knows? Oh, what the hell was that? Are we getting shot at? Are those cluster missiles? Okay, hang on. Oh, crap, we're getting shot at. Shit. We might need to might need to go to PO for our spacewalk. Oh god, deploy decoys. I think this might be just an NPC. Those were definitely missile trails. How am I not dead? Yeah, this is an NPC. Well, we're gonna get a bit of an impromptu fight, everybody. Okay. So this is against an M50. We're going to talk about convergence and everything when I get half a bloody second to talk about how this thing fights, the state of the servers, size 2 ships. The desyncing thing, as you can see, has not been fixed, even though they said it would be. Or improved upon. I need to put space between me and this ship, so I'm going to just reverse backwards. And I need to get it far enough away so my shots will land, will converge properly on the target. There we go, lovely. Whew, okay, let's do our let's do our spacewalk. Is that the space cops? No, it's the whole caterpillar thing that spawns. Let's do let's do our spacewalk. I don't even want to do it over PO because, you know, people are like, Yella, NPCs don't really spawn at Yella. So I will see you at OM1, orbital marker. Orbital marker? OM, yeah, orbital marker 1 on Yella, and we'll do our spacewalk. Back in a moment. Okay, I was saying OM1 was going to be safe, but, yeah, no, there's a hostile Connie. But I think they're Commander dead. They've... Okay, I think they're being chased. Okay. Yeah, they're being chased. Guys, this is why a busy Star Citizen is an awesome Star Citizen. Yeah, I think have they jumped? Yeah, they're gone. They're gone. Happy hunting Tyson Black. And Tyson's gone as well. They're on a chase. It is busy at Star Citizen tonight. Anyway. Oh, let me just put power to shields just in case that happens again. Let me get out. Okay. So, what I want to show you before we start to wrap up and... Okay, I'm just floating away. Goodbye, everybody. What I want to show you is... we're just going to do a little walk around of the exterior of the ship, but I also want to show you the gunner turret and how that sort of operates. Now, if you have a mate or another captain manning the gunner turret, it is insane. This thing really steps up to its full potential. If you don't, you're leaving a lot of DPS on the floor. You're just not getting the most that you could out of this ship. Sorry, I'm just getting the camera in position while I talk. So that's just something really to be mindful of. Oh, our Connie's back again. Well, I'm probably going to die. So, let me just talk while I can. I'm trying to get a cool thumbnail shot. There we go. So, something like this, and then I need to desaturate myself later on in post-correction. Well, yeah, there we go. People aren't going to believe that I didn't just stick a PNG or whatever of me in space. I promise I didn't. You're witness if you've got to this stage of the video. That is just the derpy way EVAing now works. So yeah, let's just look at this ship. Now that we're floating, we can get really close to the detail. Oh, the canopy is so good. All the little panels and rivets. There's the remote turret, which we're going to look at in a second if we don't get blown up, which we probably are. There's the guns and the wings. Oh. Look at this thing. I'm so scared. My heart is going in my mouth with these two chasing each other. Yeah. The Scorpius by RSI. An absolute beaut. Not a death machine, especially when you're in solo. But it's got storage. It's got a gun rack. It's got a very cool gunnery seat for your mates, for your org members, for just other random people you meet in the verse. They're going to have a lot of fun on that turret. Decent quantum range. Feels good in space. Feels good in atmo. Can take on very high-risk targets if you're just careful. And with a few of you fully manned, can take on a hammerhead, no problem. Again, if you're careful. If you bug out, recharge the shields when you need to. This thing is going to do its job. Oh my goodness, just absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, I could stay out here and look at this ship all day. But I know you're not here for that. So let's go into the pilot seat. Show a few final things. Take it out for a fight. So we fly up to the pilot seat. And we interact. Enter gunner seat, excuse me. We open up and we go into our gunner seat. Gunner seat's got 1 MFD. Again, the whole thing about co-pilots using MFDs, can they change stuff? I don't think they've really figured that whole thing out just yet. So what we're going to want to do... It looks very Star Wars in here, though, doesn't it? Very Imperial, funnily enough, rather than the Rebel X-Wing. But anyway, that's just my take on it. The buttons are there, but again, the whole collision thing, hot spotting is a pain in the arse. So you just have to be careful with that. So you can look down and then up and move your mouse over to the power on. Which you don't actually need to do, I don't think, to operate the turret. Now, in the turret, you've got deploy and enter remote. Deploy means move it to the front, move it to the back. Now, if you're like me, you're thinking, hang on, I need to come out of my turret view every time I want to move it. So if we go into turret view... So this is us facing the front of the ship, because there's our wings, guns pointing front. And then if I want to deploy it to the back, I need to hit E or F4 and come back in here and then hit deploy. And then hit enter remote turret. And now I'm on the bottom of the ship, or back of the ship. Okay. With limited sort of firing arcs. But you don't need to do that. Tap S. S on your keyboard. And that moves you back and forth. It toggles you positions. So now we're at the top position. I'm going to say top, not front, because I'll show you in a second. And we hit S again. We're on the bottom position. So S to deploy while you are in the turret. We're going to hit S again. So the default position of this turret on top, I think it's going to be the best, because look, we have all the view at the top. So we can pitch up, what would that be, 90 degrees. And we can rotate 360 degrees. Of course, it does the little automatic raise so we don't shoot our own wing. Okay. Excellent field of view for our turret gunner. If we hit S and go to the bottom position, we don't have 360, we have a 180 field. So we're hitting a blocker here. This would be the starboard side of the ship. And that would be the port side. You can just make out those are the bottom wings, okay? But we can look down. So I really think deploying the turret on the Scorpius to this bottom position is really just for ground targets. And people say, oh, it's for when you're running away. If you coordinate with your pilot, right? If we go back into the default position, let's just do that. If we're getting chased, right? And unless the pilot chasing us really knows Scorpius, all I need to say to my pilot is roll 180 degrees, bank up slightly. I've got all this field of view, field of fire at my rear. I don't need to deploy it. And then when you're deploying, well, I didn't know that. You can actually still shoot while you're deploying, so that's pretty cool. But you can't move the gun. So you can still hold the shooting, you still hold the firing key down. But look, so I'm firing over here, and then I hold S or tap S. I'm trying to move, and it's not letting me. So why use that mode? Again, as a gunner, that's up to you. But if I was the gunner, I would just stay up here, communicate with my pilot. Speaking of the turret itself, so this is the view you get. If you hit F4 or anything, you go back into the into your cockpit. Hit F4 again, you get to look at the ship as a gunner, but you lose control of the turret. So be careful of that if you're getting curious during a fight. We need to go back in and find enter remote turret. We do get this sort of trailing mouse effect. If you're using keyboard and mouse, you can hit Q, and now it looks and acts more like a traditional turret. Some people like to have this on slower moving turrets, this little trailing effect. The other thing you're definitely going to want to do is hit X for gyro mode. So that means if I'm looking here and shooting at someone and my pilot does an extreme bank left, right, pitch up and down, whatever it is, I'm going to stay where I am. I'm not going to have to fight the momentum of the ship. Q, X. If you don't know any more other buttons and turrets, remember those. Q, X, and for the Scorpius, S to redeploy. But again, I don't think you're going to need to. But look, we've got 4 size 3 Panther laser repeaters. 101 shots to a total capacity, ammo capacity, of 404 laser repeater size 3 rounds. That's nice. That is very, very nice. And you can see why, not having this fully manned, the amount of DPS you are missing. Not to also forget that just the handiness of turrets to get at every little angle possible. Can't recommend this enough for you, a mate, an org member, or a randomer from the verse taking out and wrecking bounty hunting at NPC targets. So that is the turret gunner. Let us EVA out. And let's finish up our video with some fights. Now, I'm sure I'll do another deep dive video in terms of bounty hunting with this ship, because bounty hunting in 317.1, it's a little bit different. So much so that for one day, I retired. I put up my bounty hunting gloves. I was never again going to see another hurricane in anger, engage it in combat. But that didn't last. Because I'm an NPC bounty hunter through and through. I thought I could be a postie. It's just not happening. But I did need to change the way I played. And I needed to rethink how I use my ships. And we're going to talk a little bit about that very briefly when we test out the Scorpius in the combat. But I will see you. Hopefully we'll get an atmospheric, we'll get an asteroid, and we'll finish up today's video with the putting the Scorpius through its paces in an actual fight. I will see you then. Alright, we are in the asteroid field. Now, sometimes my weapons, their loadout, like the clip sizes, disappear on the right-hand side. If that does, just toggle your missile rack on and off with your middle mouse click. They'll come back. So I'm bursting into the field fast. I'm going in max cruise speed at 1200. You do not want to engage at that speed. So at about 15 kilometers out, I'm going to then slow down by using boost. I like to change the MFD here on the left to my shield status. And then because we've got a size 2 shield, we can reinforce that forward shield. So I'm just going to burn past these targets while I do that. Not a very good bit of preparation, but I'm a bit rusty myself. Maybe you're like me. Maybe you're a bit rusty. So we're just going to burn past. Now, I was talking earlier about Moby glass being beneficial for the ship. I'm losing my bottom shield strength. Do you see that? I can't really see it in the bottom left. That's disappointing. If I had Moby glass, I could just look down, whereas now I have to hold F and glance down. I'm sure there's things that could be adjusted in the settings, but if you're like me and you're just picking the shit up, just, excuse me, I think I said shit up. Awful slip of the tongue. The ship up. That might be something you'll want to know before making your decision. That really, I find myself constantly having to glance down. And what's worse is, if you, like me, now that we've got size 2 shields, reinforce the forward shield by hitting number 8 on your numerical keypad, and we can put power into that forward shield, which I do recommend doing because we're going to be nose on. So usually for sort of VHRT targets, I'm going to do a 70-30 split. Power to shields, which on your keyboard will be, oh, it's been a while since I've done that, F7, I believe. I think F1 is weapons, F2 is engines, and F5 is weapons. Sorry, F5 is weapons, F6 is engines, and F7 is shields, with F8 going back to a even power triangle split. So there's a 70-30. Useful if you're going against hurricanes and stuff like that. Oh, speaking about fuel, fuel's alright. I don't notice it compared to some other ships, both quantum and hydrogen. You have to refuel it, but I'm never really too worried about it. We're running a lag pip and fixed size 3s on the wings. We've taken the gimbal's off. We've got a Vanguard Warden, quite actually a straightforward target. So let's kill the ads first of all. Another Warden and a Hurricane. Good, I want to have a good fight with the Hurricane. Deploying decoys. So let's just tidy up the ads first of all. I'm getting a bit of lagging and screen jitter. I don't know if that's my internet or whatever it is. I like to keep the targets quite far away in this ship. So anywhere between 800 meters and 1400 because of the laser convergence. Because of our lasers being far out on the wings, if we get too close, I find my shots don't tend to hit very well. So again, I'm not some master pilot, so I'm not the most accurate in the world, as you can see here. Roll around, and you see the way I don't have eyes on my rear shield, bottom left. Someone just smashed into an asteroid. I'm using boost a lot. I'm also going to use my vertical strafe just to sort of try and confuse the enemy. Now, so far, we haven't come across the problem that makes bounty hunting in 3.17.1 an issue. That's the size 2 shields becoming invincible on NPCs. So that's been a good thing. Now, the Hurricane, sadly, has yeeted itself into an asteroid, something I am not going to lament. But I really wanted to show you a Hurricane fight, so I might try one more bounty after this. This is a deep dive on the ship. And of course, the main thing this ship is used for combat, so we're going to want to have a look at it. Look at the bottom right. See if I'm trying to call the enemy? Why the hell would I want to call the enemy when they're trying to blow me up? Be careful of asteroids. Remember I talked about us quite slow to slow down. Just be mindful of that, because we were careening out of control there as I was busy talking. Power back to weapons. Weapons take a wee bit to recharge because you've got 50 rounds. Now, something we didn't talk about is we were flying into the asteroid here. But as a pilot, size 3, you have 104 rounds of size 3 ammunition. Compare that to the Gladius. With 3 size 3s, even with full power to weapons, you're only getting around 30 or so in each of the 3 weapons. That's, what, 90 in the clip? No. Yes, 90. Whereas here, sorry, you're getting 200. What am I talking about? 200 rounds as well. I'm not really paying much attention to my aim, just talking to you guys. You can see that was an absolute breeze. Shield's looking fine. Let's do another one where we can do a bit more of a slower conversation about what's going on and talk about. But as you can see, very capable in a fight. 20,000 AUC earned in mere minutes. All right, let's get into the next fight. Let's break it down a little bit more and talk about the Scorpius as a fighter. What a great way to possibly, we'll see if we get satisfaction here, end our video with an atmospheric fight. Now, it QT'd me right into engagement range, so we're not going to have as much of a chat as I wanted to, but our shields have been set to the 70-30 split. We've got a Valkyrie, a Warden, and a Warden. So I might try and find you guys a Hurricane, but we'll do some cool cinematic killing with the Warden. So let's, or with the Valkyrie, let's kill these Wardens. And I'm just strafing in, so A on my keyboard and W. I'm not using any boost. Putting power back to boost just to regain it, and then power back to weapons to get those full clip sizes. Deploying decoys with H on my keyboard, and then using boost to come in behind this Warden. That seems to be making it very easy for me. And just, you know, my shots aren't hitting for some reason. Those seem to be on. Yeah, I'm not getting really much. Okay, so shots aren't hitting at all, which makes me worry that we might have a... There we go, now they're hitting. So yeah, around that 800 meter... Okay, yeah, so that's... This patch... This patch... Some really fun stuff, but there are issues with this patch. So far, I'm not getting that size 2 shield problem. I think they're making that, whatever they've done, they've made that a bit nicer, but kinder. I'm using, look at that vertical boost. Look how, so that's with spacebar. That just gets me up into the air nice and quick. Bottom right, you see my MFD. I've lost that, MFD when I'm trying to call the bad guys. A pain. You have to have a lot of patience with your clip reloading here for efficiency, so let it get all the way up and then put the power triangle back into something that you need, like a bit of boost. I'll put it back into weapons, let that get back up to 50, power back to boost. And because I've got a size 2 shield, I can stay on the nose against the Warden a bit longer. Now, this Warden's just doing nothing. It's not firing at me. I don't really feel any... Well, now you can hear it shot once, but don't think it hit me, no. I'm not firing just because I'm chatting to you guys and having a look, but there we go, it's no problem. So we got a few of those size 5 cannon hits on our front shield, still 40%. Absolutely no problem. Now, Valkyries are a bit hardier now. Their turret gunners are more accurate, so let's put power to shields. Let's just back off a little bit and let those shields, you can see in the bottom left, recharge. There we go, 70%. Yeah, Valkyries can whittle down your shields very quickly, especially in smaller vehicles. Again, we're trying to ring the bad guy in the bottom right, so I can't tell. This has been interesting. This entire recording, I have not had any of the invincible size 2 shields on NPCs, which is good. I don't want to see that anymore, but I wanted to point it out in case you're feeling frustrated a little bit with some of your fights. And this is what happens when I try and give some cool visuals. The Valkyrie tears up my shields. But I think we're okay. Other thing, without having that second MFD, which would be or third and fourth, I just want to look over here and check my self status. Like, how much hull damage has been done. None by the looks of it. But do you see how fiddly this is? So maybe that's something for the co-pilot could be checking for me. I don't know. Now I have to go back to shield. So, can we put 2 more MFDs in this thing? I don't think it's going to happen. But I think that's something I would definitely recommend they do. Another thing I'm noticing is that there's the lag pip jumps a little bit, but once you get in around that 800 meter mark, this is the sweet spot I find for the Scorpius. Get too close, those shots don't always tend to converge. And the big thing I think for the Scorpius is it is quite a wide profile, so you can see our shield is getting hit, but we've got such firepower that if you hold your nerve, let the shots recharge, I was sort of strafing around, things like Valkyries, Mordens, you're going to have no problem, even if there's a couple of them. I'll try and get you one more fight, and then we'll see where we finish up for the day. Okay, here we are. One final asteroid fight. Let's see if we can get that Hurricane. Going to reinforce the forward shields twice. Power the shields. Let that generate up. Cruise control in. Not going to burst in as quickly as this time. Going to burst in maybe about 800 meters per second. There we go. It's all about efficiency when you're doing bounty hunting. Power back to boost to recoup that speed or that usage. I mean, you could boost in as fast as I did before and loop around and things like that, but we'll just go in a bit slower so we can have a bit of a think about what we're doing. I love this fucking thing. Let's not tempt fate before I smash into an asteroid. It's fun. It's fun. It's not OP. You have to manage all the little bits and pieces. You have to manage your power triangle. You have to, you know, be comfortable with like deploying decoys. And again, this MFD at the bottom right is a pain in the arse. I can't see what these targets are. That looks like a Hurricane. No, it's a Buccaneer. My apologies. It's a Buck. Saber. I can't see because I'm trying to call them again. Buck. Alright, we'll just kill. We'll just kill. So, in something like this, we're going to want to kill the maneuverable ships first. Anything with ballistics, you want to kill very quickly because that's going to penetrate and do hull damage. So, what are you over here? Saber, I find, was an... Okay, there's that desync again. Saber was an easy target. Let's see if it still is in 3.17.1. Yeah, no problem at all. No problem whatsoever. That's a Buck. Bucks tend to be nasty. Bucks tend to be nasty, especially if they get close. Especially on a ship like ours where laser convergence can sometimes be an issue. Because they're so far out in the wings. We said that earlier. So I'm going to try and stay around 700-800 meters. If it gets as close as 2 or 3, I'm just going to back off with reverse thrust. And, you know, definitely all my lasers weren't hitting there because we should have popped that. Now I'm going to do forward thrust to get out of the asteroid field a little bit. Happy with my shields. Well, 64. Going to put some power back to shields. 64%, 14 isn't very good. And let's now be prepared for a missile to come our way. I think we're okay. Didn't hear a missile coming at us. Power back to weapons. Give them time to reload. And now let's see if we can get this kill. Aiming just a little bit in front of the Buck. Might need to get closer. So it's small, you see, this is the problem. It's very teeny. There we go. So sometimes I just took all my fingers off the thrust controls, slow up the maneuvering, and I was able to deal with that Buccaneer. Another Buccaneer. Don't know what my radar is doing. I think I accidentally move it when I'm clicking buttons. So that's, again, terrible aiming by me. As I say, no big Top Gun pilot. This is to show you, though, if you're new, or like me, a noob, I can't make the excuse for being new anymore. Played this game for years. You can still have fun on this ship. Boom, Buccaneer dead. Very satisfying to pop things that quickly. Now we're finishing on the BS that you know. Now we're finishing on the main adversary of this game, the Hurricane. I'm hoping, keep an eye on the bottom right MFD, that we do come across the bug. Not because I want to. Sorry, my throttle stuck there, which I shouldn't have done, because I don't have the cruise control on. Should have slowed down when I was when I let go of it. So not a little bug, but it's pre-alpha. What do we expect? These things do happen. Okay, so let's keep an eye on that forward shield of the Hurricane. Of course we can't because the bloody comms. They seem to have fixed it. They seem to have fixed it. And when they fix it, I'm back to having fun, because in a ship like this, we're going to annihilate a Hurricane. Boom. Now, the Hurricane wasn't moving. It in itself was a bit bugged out. But shields are fine. Yeah, what can I say? The Scorpius by RSI. An absolute powerhouse when fully crewed. A modest, enjoyable heavy fighter as a solo. Has everything you need bar a camp bed, even a sleeping bag, stapled onto the top of the roof where you can go to sleep. If it had that, my goodness, this would be an amazing ship to have in your fleet. For now, should you buy it with real money? Well, I think you can buy every ship in-game eventually. I will be purchasing it. That's my choice for me. I'd probably say hold off. You know, it's okay. If you're going to have someone on the other turret a lot, then you're going to get a lot of fun out of this ship. But I don't know. It's probably going to retail the right. I don't have the figures, but $200, $250. That's a lot of money, especially times as they are. Everything's going up in price. But it's not for me to tell you what to do. Will you have fun with the ship? I think so. It's going to help you practice your sort of fight skills and mechanics. It's got that room for that second player. It feels good. It can survive bounties, as we've seen, even though we got lucky that the NPC were a wee bit out of it this evening. I don't know if they're all drunk from Invictus, enjoying themselves. But I have had tougher fights where the Hurricanes are coming at you, and this ship has survived, albeit utilizing some skill, of which I don't have a lot. So that's the RSI. It's up to you. Will you be picking it up? Will you be waiting to get it in the verse? If you have any questions or comments, if you want me to look at any features in more details, if there's anything I've missed, please comment and let me know. And I just want to send out a very big thank you again to Choo-Choo, to Bruce, for giving me the paint. I haven't had time to show that off on today's video, just with a few glitches and things that I had to cut out of the video. But on the stream this evening, the Invictus Day 1 stream, I think it'll be titled, I will be showing off that skin. So if you want to see what that looks like, it's the... Oh, what's it called? It's the really cool skin that the backers get. You can have a look at it in that video. And again, thank you so much, Bruce, again, for gifting that. That was very kind of you. And thank you to everyone who stuck around with the channel. I know I haven't been uploading videos anywhere near as frequently. It's something I'm going to try to do. But as we know, the monkey on the back of that is IRL sometimes gets in the way. But I thought I just had to get a Scorpius video out, try and get that energy back again to make videos. We've got to explore Bruce and the evil Irish guys' ever ongoing battle of supremacy. We've got to explore all the other ships. We've got to revisit bounty hunting in general in 3.17.1. I've alluded to a few issues that are happening at the minute. We got to review things like the little 85X, the camera ship. It's actually quite a fun fighter. The Carrack I want to look at. We need to do a recorded 890 tour. We did it on stream, but I think the quality's better in these recorded videos. We have so much to do. I just want to thank you for your patience. I don't think the videos will come out as quickly as they have done in the past. I kind of burnt myself out putting one out every day, but I will try and get them out a little bit more regular for you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you are enjoying Star Citizen, even with all the little features that are creeping in at the moment. And I wish you all an awesome day, a brilliant week, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye, guys. See you again.